Fate was quite pleased with my performance so far. Although due to unforeseen circumstances, he had to leave me under the supervision of his cat, Lady Pawdington. Well, she did well reminding him of needing to pay me for my work. Apparently I was to decide the fate of some plants. Perhaps the letter would explain this. So there was a mix-up with the plants department and I needed to decide the fate of some plants. But before that, social media. Corrupt officials die. That lab tech got a comedy award. And apparently bees are disappearing. And what I needed to do this day is kill 3 plants. Honey farm? That is suspicious. I suspected that this was the culprit for the bees disappearing. And honey production would suffer if I allowed that one to live. Then we have some flowers that need planting. Flowers near a military base. A weed that survived a forest fire. Well, a bushfire. Well, some kind of fire. I wasn't really paying attention to that. The fly trap would die, so that the bees would live. As for the small blade of grass, that one would die as well. Which left the choice between the survivalist, the flowers that needed planting, and the flowers near the military base. I decided that the survivalist would live. As for the plants near the military base, they would die. Now that was a day's work. That was one of the strangest so far. At the desk was Lady Pawdington, and I said, "So..." And then I said, see you tomorrow, I guess. She seemed satisfied, although I couldn't really tell for sure.
Ah, perhaps ye require a delightful gift for a significant friend.
It was then I knew I should have killed the tumbleweed rather than the flower. Thankfully, the palace garden received something beautiful, and the bees were saved. At least this day it would be humans that would die. 2 of them, to be more precise. The first was a retired human who was waiting for death, apparently. Then we have a charitable and selfless student. Interesting. You shall live, so that you continue to do so. To live, well, not many live so selflessly. That seismologist. Well, if the earthquakes aren't reported, and an early warning isn't applied for, well, it would bring chaos, so you shall live. As for you, it would be your time to die. As for the priest, well, that's how things are now. No going back from there. Apparently, I kept her waiting. I said, I'll take this to mean I'm doing well. I had my suspicions, but I decided that it could wait until the next day.
Aye, this port offers the best trades in the universe.
I decided to buy the Annals of Transience this day.
Blimey, we scoured nigh every inch for this calendar. Alas, mayhaps we raided too many merchantmen for it. Because turns out, it weren't even on a ship. Still worth it for the Annals' work on any year. Filled to the brim with arcane squiggles and short omens between the numbers, and in the footnotes. Also includes the major holidays of 100 different civilizations and all the name days. I finally procured it from an old man on the steps of Acropolis.
After another riveting tale, it was back to work. According to social media, things were largely uneventful. As for the assignments, well, 4 humans had to die and any with a medical background would need to be spared, which automatically meant that the pharmacist, who is a closet herbalist, would need to live. Which, according to the snow globe, had a negative effect, strangely. Next we had a dedicated paramedic, and since that one was also of a medical background, that one was automatically spared. On to the next one. This red one. This was different. It gave me a message to kill all of them. I decided to mark this one to die. Although, largely because this one appeared to be something included here by an unauthorized source. As for this one, quantum firewall, well, you'd need to die regardless. As for you, an insane cosmologist, your time has come. As for you, a guru, your philosophy is no longer required. Well, the consequences of those decisions, the consequences were quite disastrous. I was unsure what to make of Lady Pawdington, but I told her, "Today went well. It seems appropriate to feel some pride." As for her take on this, I thought, you think I'm to blame for those deaths? Marking of what happened that day. I told her, I just do what I'm told, these things happen. She clearly didn't think so. Then I realized, oh, did I cause these events to happen? Apparently, I did. And then I said I had to contact fate. I needed answers. And she clearly didn't want me to. And I said, not nice. And apparently that was the end of it. I wasn't sure what she was doing or if this was what fate wanted all along. But the next day, I checked Mortimer's.
Ahoy, matey! What can old Mortimer offer ye today?
And there was nothing much of interest, so I got to work. Well, not much else to do other than that. The herbalist caused more harm than good. Earthquakes were warned against and lives were saved. Internet security was compromised. Quite a mixed day. The 3 humans would need to die this day, and any students would need to be spared. Why? Many of these students would like nothing better than to drink ridiculous amounts of alcohol. Although this animal rights activist didn't sound so bad. Then we have a personal trainer and a child psychology student and a film critic. That also turned out to be a negatively impacting decision. Then we have a self-employed illustrator and a fraudster who does what they do for their family. More specifically, to support them. Yes, that is a difficult decision with that one. One who performed illegal activities. But for selfless reasons. A bank executive that was surprisingly connected with, well, considering as for the illustrator, and this white-collar criminal, a difficult decision. Then there's this personal trainer that promotes physical fitness for the young. Well, the children, certainly. Unfortunately, that one would be the one to be spared. The most overall beneficial for society. It was not a decision I made lightly. I said, "Kitty cat, time for the review." Then I said, "Great, I'll be off now." Well, there wasn't really that much left to discuss.
Avast ye! Pursue the finest booty you've ever seen.
I decided to buy the Infernal Illuminator this day.
The base, the marble plate of yore. The arms melted from the cannons of a galleon. A socket, a shell of a ferocious sea monster. The shade made from the skull of the beast of Hogwarts. The coil bent from the thorns of a rose bush in Guyana. I, me drinking buddy, a master electrosmith, built this illuminator. He also loved to spark me drink and laugh gleefully when me whole jaw sizzled. Pranked him right back by knocking his teeth out.
Sounded more like an expression of displeasure. Regardless, after that shopping, it was time for work. And examining social media to examine the effects of the previous day. The children became physically fitter. Funding, or lack of, delayed the earthquake early warning system, and an eating event. 3 humans had to die this day, including those with a religious background, but those with an artistic background would need to be spared, except there was a problem with this. There were no files, and a set of paw prints. I had a suspicion of who took those files. I would need to take it up with her. I wanted to ask Lady Pawdington, you wouldn't know what happened to my files? She pretended not to know what I'm talking about. I asked, did you do something with them? And then...
Hello? Hello? Lady Pawdington, is Grim there? Oh, goodness. Grim, I heard that. I understand the job can be stressful, that these decisions do not come lightly. But you cannot let everybody live. Such actions will have serious consequences, even if you cannot foresee them. That is what I am for. Trust me, it will be for the benefit of everyone. Understood?
I told Fate that something happened to the files. They were gone.
What? Could you repeat that? All I hear is static.
In frustration, I said, never mind.
No matter. You know what the job entails, Grim. I implore you to take it seriously. The world needs to stay in equilibrium. I do hope we will not have to repeat this discussion in the future. Think before you act. That is all.
I didn't believe that for one moment. I then said to Lady Pawdington, "Bah, I hope you're happy." She didn't appear to take notice of that. Typical short attention span. After a particularly rough day, I decided to head to Cerberus' den. Well, I could use the conversation. Well, let's have a break before I go into what I discussed there.